If you make enough noise, I might wake up. Just know that I'm coming to the battle at half health.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, welcome back, folks. So there was a little bit of a dream sequence interaction between Mangir and his patron that we weren't able to stream. It will be on the YouTube recording. Thank you, Ketron, for recording that for us. Threats were made, offers were made, deals were offered, and he was given 24 hours to think about it, or it spills everyone's secrets. Dangerous situation. However, we are picking up where we left off now last week, which is with Father Ironcloak and Kedron Dartinan in a prison room in your dad's basement, Kedron, with a certain individual that Ironcloak seems to have an interest in. You had just opened the door to step out for a moment to give him a moment of privacy for whatever he needed that for, only to find your father, father, that's not a word, father, standing there, reaching towards the door, looks down at you and goes, "Well, this is complicated."
You know, Father, I had been meaning to speak to you anyhow. I have a bit of a story to tell you.
Hmm. He looks down at you and then over at Father Ironcloak. Father Ironcloak, what's your reaction to this? Like, just immediate knee-jerk reaction. What is Ironcloak doing when he sees this man standing there, kind of looming in the doorway?
I'll say, unless you do something to interrupt my conversation, I'm not like stopping. I just stopped
Yeah,
what you were doing.
well,
Just,
you said that he
Front of
looks
class
over at
just,
Father and
Yeah.
Ironcloak.
stare back into the room.
Just recently, Father, we found ourselves in a city, a dark, deprived city, where the ruler of said place was leveraging his power to do dark experiments on people in an underground dungeon, as well as selling them in slavery. Of course, using his power as the leader of this place, he avoided any sort of suspicion or consequence. Now, as the leader of the Inquisitors, what would your reaction be to something like that? We killed him. Thought that is the only just thing to do. What is your prognosis on such a sticky situation?
He returns his gaze to you after looking at Father Ironcloak. You accuse me, boy.
I see something which I yet not have an explanation for, and it looks very familiar.
That's your problem. You don't ask the right questions. But regardless, come with me, and I will explain.
Would be a very
Not
good
much else I
explanation
can
for
do in this
this.
situation. It's not like I can disappear you. You're a bit famous right now. So, come along, you two, boy. As he motions to Father Ironcloak.
I guess.
I'm gonna look back towards Father Ironcloak's hand still resting on my dagger that's kind of hidden in the fold of my clothes.
So your father kind of waiting and seeing your hand. Well, no, like he knows your hand's on a dagger. Let's be perfectly honest here. His perception's stupid. If you think that's the best course of action, boy, you may try.
Best course? No. But I like to keep my options open.
Oh, come on, we don't have all night.
I'm still kind of looking back over at Father Ironcloak, waiting for his reaction.
I guess I'll. Yeah. I guess I'm going with them.
Okay. He motions you out of the room, closes and relocks the door, and then he turns around and goes, "Oh, this way," and begins to walk up the stairs. You follow him.
I'm gonna follow him with leave a few steps to go up to Father Ironcloak. Be ready for anything. We don't know what's happening here.
Oh,
Boy,
we
there's a
did.
blood drain in that room. If I wanted to kill you, I'd have done it there.
You can't kill me, maybe, but who says what you would do with him?
If I was gonna kill you, I'd kill him too. Come on.
What
Use
makes
your
you think you could
intuition,
kill me?
boy. He looks at you for a second and then goes right back to Kedron. Like, he doesn't even acknowledge what you just said, hardly. He's like, I know I taught you better than that. Don't disappoint me. Come. And he continues walking up the stairs. He goes up into the main entry room, up some more stairs. Kedron, you realize where he's leading you. It's his study.
Yeah.
Do you guys follow?
I'll follow.
I'm.
Trying to...
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. You go into the study. There is a beautiful mahogany desk there, chair behind it, 2 chairs in front. Closes the door behind you guys, walks over, unlocks and opens a drawer on the bottom, pulls out 3 tumblers, sets them down, a decanter of whiskey, pours 3 measures into the glasses, corks it, puts it down. Hey, Kedron. Yeah, that's not really okay. Like him just having an uncontrolled bottle of liquor in his office. A little sketch. Like, latitude is given to leading families. It's not unheard of. You definitely shouldn't flaunt it in public, though. Kind of against the rules. Like, you guys have on staff a licensed alcohol handler. It is a thing you have to have alcohol. He's not in the room. This bottle's just at the desk.
Just gonna reach forward, dip my finger, and just start rubbing it around the edge.
He grabs the glass, throws his back, sets it down, sits in the chair, and goes, well, have a seat. You won't sit for this. It's a bit of a story. Father Ironclad, quick reminder, how old are you again?
Pretty close to the same age as everybody else.
Yeah, give me an exact age, please.
20.
I believe I was like 19, 20-ish.
20.
Yeah, y'all were 20? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you all sit?
Suspiciously, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
I'll
sit.
sit.
About 20 years ago, there was an outbreak in Vatica. That's not the voice. There was an outbreak in Vatica. A infernal disease
In Vatica.
in Vatica, yes. Well, we say infernal. Really, we don't know, but we assume. And what it does to the body.
This
was an
whole
outbreak.
time is perception, is insight check.
Oh, give me an insight check on this whole situation if you want to. Ironclad, you're perfectly capable of doing so as well.
Hey, Bryant.
Yeah.
Can you bring your mic closer to your mouth?
Sorry, is that better?
Okay. You know what? I am also going to toss my inspiration on that.
Go for it.
26.
26. Very nice. It ran rampant for a while. We were dispatched, the Inquisitors, to find out where it started. The Rangers, which you know is Alara's division.
Yeah.
To hunt them down. The Keepers, too close to any information we gathered. We never found where it came from. We did manage to keep a few alive. At the time, I was the Assistant Grand Inquisitor. The old man you saw down there, in a cage with the grey hair, he was the Inquisitor at the time. The Grand Inquisitor.
Sure, I would have seen pictures of the Grand Inquisitor and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Paintings.
Like, you didn't really recognize him at the gate because, like, beard and disheveled and everything. But, like, thinking about it, yeah. Like, paintings, at least, yeah, of the old
Yeah.
Grand Inquisitor. He was bitten. He was taken alive. He hasn't transformed yet, so he gave himself over. All the rest of the people down there were taken alive. All the rest were put to the sword to stop the infection. They were handed over to the Keepers for study. Our idea was to cure them of this lycanthropy. A few years later, we received word of abuse by the one in charge. So we moved in. The one that was responsible for mistreating the subjects was dealt with appropriately. And by that I mean burned at the stake after being inquisited. By that time, I was the Grand Inquisitor. I was deemed to be the overseer. I had a secure location in my house that we utilized for interrogations. And they put them there as a temporary reprieve while we find new suitable quarters for them. The room. You were a child at the time. You almost tried to go into that room once when I was down there. Your mother still feels bad for yelling at you that day. But no one can know. An infernal disease in Vatican. In Vatican City. Anyways, new housing was found. A joint overseeing was done. However, recently black mold was found. We moved the subjects here as another temporary housing, not the most comfortable, I'll admit, while we clean and restore the current living situation. Our goal is to find a cure. That way, if this ever crops up again, we can save them. And to save the subjects now, although, yeah. Some of them have died in our experimentation, as is the cost of progress. We take no joy in this. We treat them as kindly as we can, and we restrain them for their own safety and the safety of others around them. And this is not how they're usually housed. It's a temporary emergent thing. None of you can speak of what you saw here this evening. No one can know. Now, normally, you would be disgraced, sent off to a posting somewhere outside of Vatican, or at the very least in a small podunk town, to be the lowest of the low for all of the rest of your life, but alive. If you refuse to secrecy, then you would be executed, as the word cannot get out. You all are a special case. You are my son. And you're famous.
Yes, of course. Been too long since I've been here. Got lost.
I doubt that. That does bring me to my next question. Why were you down there in the first place?
Honestly, I was curious. Something about the potato cupboard caught my interest.
Give me a deception check.
I mean, that is true.
I mean truth, but you're saying it in a deceiving way. Like you're obfuscating the truth. Give me a deception check.
Deception. I still thought it was the truth because that was kind of like implying we found this passage in the potato cupboard.
Yes, but it doesn't matter what particular one you rolled, that's a natural one. Like even arguing which one you're rolling right now doesn't matter. That's a natural one. He slams his fist on the table. Do not lie to me, boy. Raised you better than that. Whatever it is, if someone told you of this, you need to know so that we can stop the flow of information. We have a rat.
I was being coy. We found the entrance in the potato cupboard. I went down to get a drink. Father Ironcloak was getting a snack. Stumbled across some sort of entrance.
We have
It made me
servant spells
curious.
for that. Why would you go down there with servant spells at your disposal?
Father, how often have I used the 7 spells?
I'm gonna be honest, dude. This
Excuse
is
me.
all new. This is all. Sorry. Grand Inquisitor, sir. This is all new to me. I obviously didn't grow up in servants and stuff, so
Fair.
I was hungry, went to the kitchen to get a snack.
craving for potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, potatoes are good for everything.
Cool. Now you definitely need to give me a deception check.
If I say
You're asleep, McGear.
if I say the line "boil a mash
I
and stick 'em
have
in
a
a
question
stew,"
as a
can I have
player.
advantage?
Yeah, go for it.
Is potatoes literally the only thing in a potato cupboard, or is this like a pantry?
No, that was literally a potato cupboard.
Well, then it would be called a pantry.
They literally have another pantry for it, like a separate pantry.
They have
They're super
a cupboard
rich.
exclusively for potatoes?
Yes, they are
Okay,
obscenely
yeah, I
rich.
can see why this would be weird then. Carry on.
That's why I specifically described it as a potato cupboard.
To be fair, like 90% of the stuff medieval people would eat is potato. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Potatoes and other
rolling
tubers.
stupid low on his insight checks. Like Jacob, had you not rolled a natural one, you probably would have been fine. You rolled a natural one. Ironcock, he goes, well, I suppose when you grow up with something as your primary source of sustenance, you tend to gravitate towards it out of pure nostalgia. Fair enough. I need to make sure that door is extra locked next time. As I said, I cannot have you telling anyone.
So do I believe him? He never told me.
Oh
that
yeah,
after my
absolutely.
26.
Like
nothing stands out as like fishy.
no, like his story lines up. Like he gives an explanation for why they're there. He gives an explanation for like why they're back there. Like everything lines up and makes perfect sense. And it's like no, like that's totally why I would have that. And why there's a blood drain in that room? It's his interrogation room. Let's be perfectly honest. You know the Inquisitors torture people. That's not news. But no, both of you, with a 26 and a 13, believe him.
So either he's telling the truth, or he rolled like a 30.
Yeah.
Or he rolled a 27.
But no, you guys, like, it seems like he's being perfectly honest and telling the truth. And, like, he doesn't want you to know. He doesn't really have a choice at this point.
So in 20 years, you've never figured out how to cure one of them?
No.
Don't even know where
We
it
tried.
came from.
We thought we had it once. And then
Where
they
did-
died.
Where did it originate? Do you know?
We don't know. We have investigated. It seems to have popped up in several different cities simultaneously. And we haven't been able to track it to a single source.
And you said it is infernal. I know I'm probably retreading old ground, but I have to ask.
They transform into half man, half wolf creatures. Sometimes at will, if they are strong will and can learn how to do that. Other times, but always at the full moon.
So I'm assuming it's some sort of magic. What
Oh,
sort
yes.
of magic have the keepers
You
not
mean
been able to-
miracles? Have the bookkeepers tried?
No,
Everything they know.
no. If you assume it's infernal, then it would be of magics.
Oh, theirs would be of magic, yes, but not anything we
You
do.
can
We don't
still
handle magic.
You can still suss out magic with miracles.
Yes. We can't get a read on it. It's some sort of curse, perhaps. But we have not been able to find a cure. We know silver kills them, so we tried to dilute silver. Give it to them over time as sort of a kill the virus but not the man. It did not work. Several of them have died in this endeavor. Several of them turned themselves in to die for this endeavor. Some of them were taken alive by persuasion.
Very well.
Any who chose violence died.
I will not
Very difficult to
tell,
kill.
But if I run into anything that sounds familiar out in the wilds, I'll take note.
Well, that's the thing. I can't trust your claim of secrecy. There are things that we need to do. I've already called for a keeper. Your minds will be altered, and you will not remember this.
No thanks.
So you're
It's not a
saying
choice.
you would turn down the opportunity to gather more information outside of Vatica, which we never venture, but we know there's information. There's darkness out there, so we could figure out more about said darkness that infects us. You would turn down the opportunity to figure out more about this by those that you're already sending out and not raise any more suspicion. No more
Iron Cloak,
suspicion,
anything to add?
more opportunity.
Yeah, so fun offer, but I'm gonna have to pass. Thanks though.
Kedron, give me a persuasion check.
I should have saved my inspiration for this, but it's too late now.
Yeah, nobody else in the room has that right now.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Persuasion. My persuasion is so low. I'm not even gonna look. What is it?
It's a nat 20.
Oh! It actually is! Oh yeah!
Taps his chin for a moment and thinks. Make a fair point, boy. My son, actually doing Inquisitor's work. Fine. You have yourself a deal. You speak to anyone about this, and you will be tried for heresy.
Are we allowed to open up to the rest of our crew? Will they be able to swear themselves to secrecy for this, or will it just be us?
So I'm only going to do this because of your natural 20. Like, this is like, there's success and then there's this, alright? Fine. You will take an oath of secrecy. All of you. You two right now. The rest of them will be brought in the morning. They will swear an oath of secrecy, then they will be given the information. And if that oath is broken, you will be tried for heresy and you will be executed. I cannot protect you from this. This goes above me.
Very well.
Your mother would have my hide, so please don't.
Right, then...
Yeah, he has an oath of secrecy. He makes you swear basically don't tell anybody or die.
Yeah.
Father Ironcloak, you are dismissed. Kedron, stay.
Sit back in the chair.
Okay, I'll get up.
Sweet. Ironcloak, you take off. What are you doing when you take off?
I can't believe I saved our memory.
Yeah, it was gonna be straight up a modify memory.
I know.
I'm feeling a little peckish. I didn't eat enough potatoes.
So what exactly does that mean? Like, what exactly are you doing?
I don't know.
So I want to handle that first, because that sounds fun.
I know it's a really stupid idea.
I did just secure our lives and memories.
But technically, it didn't say don't go back downstairs.
I mean, we are part of the investigation now. I guess you could leverage that, but I'm not there. I can't say anything.
Yes, so hush. You are standing in the hallway, deciding where to go.
Would I know where they keep their silverware? Would it probably be in the kitchen?
Probably in the kitchen.
All right, I'm gonna go back down to the kitchen.
Okay. You're in the kitchen.
All right, I'm gonna try and find the silverware.
Cool. You walk into the kitchen, and there is a house guard already in the kitchen. Hello. Yeah, I was told to come down and keep an eye out for some reason. Don't know why, but here I am.
How's it going tonight?
Not too bad. Yourself?
It's going pretty good.
You want something?
Yeah, I was sent down here to grab some silverware.
Why?
You're asking me? Grant,
Why?
is it Grand Inquisitor?
Yeah.
The Grand Inquisitor told me to come down here and get silverware. That's what I'm doing.
So you telling me the Grand Inquisitor sends a house guest, not a servant, a house guest, down to grab silverware?
Yeah, I'm thinking he was just trying to get me out of the room. But
Give me a deception check. Also, lying is a sin, but sure.
oh, so it's only a sin when I try it. But the 95 times Kedron's tried it so far this campaign,
Kedron hasn't
not a
lied
sin.
yet.
Oh,
He
Plus, I'm an
obfuscated the
inquisitor.
truth.
I,
The truth,
so
and no,
that
it's definitely a sin when
deception
he does it too.
that deception at natural one wasn't a sin. Okay.
Plus,
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't a sin. No, very much was. But anyways,
Plus, from my viewpoint, it wasn't deception; it was just being coy.
no, lying is a sin for everybody, including Kedron. Don't worry about it. I'm just pointing that out to the literal priest. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me. Not at all, Governor. Tell you what, why don't you go back upstairs? I'll send somebody up with a silverware for you.
Is he from the Underdark?
No, I keep trying to do like the Cockney British accent, and it keeps trailing into Australian for some reason. Supposed to be like this here, Governor, don't you know? Keep straying into Australian though, because they're pretty close if you think about it.
because they are British.
They're descended. So you're standing there in the middle of the kitchen staring at this dude right now as he's staring at you leaning on his pike.
See, that's just.
Oh,
You good?
wrong pipe. Oh. Whew.
That's just not gonna work.
So we're gonna cut away from that, and we're gonna go back up to Kedron. Sitting there in your father's study, he pours himself another measure of whiskey. Again, this is only a second drink, technically today, because it's after midnight. Technically within the rules. Do you ever drink yours, by the way?
I've never drank it. Now it's still sitting there.
It all pours from the same bottle. And he sits there with an end, takes a sip. I was skeptical when they sent you out. Child of mine being sent out on death mission for publicity. I was outraged. But you brought back 2 pieces of the sword in a few months. You've managed to stay alive. So have all of your companions. It's not Inquisitor's work, so you don't necessarily deserve the promotions. But you've done good work. Congratulations.
I will say there was something that did require the touch of an Inquisitor a few points through, but...
Oh, do tell.
Well, I did tell you about the individual, the corrupt leader of a city, slaving and performing dark magic on his own people.
I mean, it's the outside world. What do you expect?
Well, it was needed to take care of him, to retrieve the piece of the sword. He had possession of it and did not feel like parting with it.
2 for 1. Good job. Now that you're back, now it's time to actually learn Inquisitor's work. You won't be assigned to me until they figure out where they're sending you next. I'll be arranging your supervisor. It won't be here in Vatican City. You need to be on your own. Out from underneath the wing of your mother, let's face it, coddles you too much. Not a bad thing. Always good to have a mother's love. Good job, boy. Make this family proud, whatever you do. I'm going back to bed. It's incredibly early, and I don't like to be awake this early if I don't have to be.
Is the
Don't
Inquisitor in
worry,
his
Father.
duties?
I intend to reach to the depths of what this family has to offer and show it to the world.
I don't even know what that means. So if you mean about telling about the fact that I have people locked up in our basement right now, bad idea.
Oh, no, of course. I did make a vow, didn't I? Something else entirely.
Besides, that's for the greater good. And they're infected with a disease anyway. You don't want them running around. It was either that or execute them, and honestly, we're looking for a cure, so whatever. Actually, you should see where they live. It's pretty comfortable. They have their own private rooms. Like, they have nice beds. They get fed every day. They have recreation rooms. Like, they don't get to interact with each other because biting. But it's not bad.
He may not know exactly what I'm talking about, but I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I know. He has no idea. He's just like, what are you talking about? Anyways, it's too early for me. Enjoy the whiskey. Don't tell your mother. She doesn't know I still have it. Good night. And he goes off back to bed. Iron Cloak.
As soon as he leaves, I will shoot it back, though.
Oh yeah,
Not going to do it in front of him, but when he's gone, just...
good whiskey. Don't touch my books. Iron Cloak. What are you doing?
Not leaving the kitchen.
For real?
I mean, it's getting really weird, you know.
I know, right?
Tell you
Maybe,
what, hold on. He reaches over and like dings a little bell, and like a blue-eyed server comes over in. Oh yeah, what's up? What can I do for you, Gavin? Oh, so, Father. Yeah, so I need you to run to like Master and see if he asks this bloke to give him silverware. It's really weird. Or... You know what? Forget it. Take the silverware. I'm just gonna make a note that you took it and how much.
I'm just going to take one set of utensils.
It's real silver.
Cool. I'm going to head back to bed.
Cool. By the way, you do know the punishment for theft in Vatican, right?
I'm a house guest. I'm not stealing anything.
If you take it with you, you are.
If I take it to my room, it's theft.
Like off of the property.
Well, I know that.
Hmm?
I'm not
Anyways.
stealing anything.
Next morning. Bright, beautiful morning, man. What a gorgeous... Unless you do anything else that night.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Eh.
Iron Cloak, what are you doing with that silverware?
I'm just going to play around with it a bit.
Cool. What are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing that night? Do we need a private chat for
Yeah,
this
that
one?
would be great.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I need for this. Just let me know. Cool. Well, what are you doing with the silverware?
I mean, besides the obvious.
Taking it to your room?
Yeah, I'm taking it to my room.
Sweet.
I'm also probably, not in any weird way,
Uh-huh.
going to definitely try, like, cutting myself with it.
Sure. You take the sharpest butter knife you can find. And you give yourself a point of damage, and it hurts. Like, it...
Nothing else happens?
No. Now, see, 20 years ago could have been meant that you were born to her after she was infected. You could have been born to her before she was infected.
Yeah,
and
very
you're
much
just a
so.
normal baby.
I'm just covering all my bases.
I mean, like, you pick it up with your bare hands and it doesn't burn or anything, so...
So, D, are you, you here?
Cricket.
No? That's unfortunate. Sure. You sure kind of fumbled the bag with that one.
Cricket. You're awake doing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Mhm.
She's very rarely spoken to awake, and even then it's been like very short like sentences and stuff.
All right.
You
Then I'll go
kind
to
of get
bed.
the impression that it's difficult to speak to you when you're awake.
All right. Then I'll go to bed.
Cool, you go to bed. You called.
Yeah, you kind of fumbled the bag with that one.
Did I? How so?
Yeah, well, you said you were going to help me, and you were like, zero help.
Look, I helped. It's not my fault that you suck at picking locks. Or that you suck at sneaking.
That might be fair.
No, that's perfectly fair. Like the
Yeah,
spell
no, you're
that I
right.
cast
You're
on you
right.
for sneaking, like there is no way that you should have been seen. I don't know.
So, everything he said then was true?
I don't know.
How do you not know? You know, like, everything,
I
don't
don't know
you?
everything. No, I know some things, and I leverage those to my advantage.
Do you know where I
Like
would
I
find
knew that
out?
your mom. I mean, you could ask him, but you already did that. Oh, I know. You could ask your mom.
But she's back downstairs.
Well, yeah, but you're part of the investigation now. You could probably just. I don't know. Look, I'm not here to solve your problems. All right, I'm here to cause them. I mean, to have fun.
So,
By the way, this has been super entertaining for me. I really thought you were gonna stab him, like both hims. I thought you were gonna stab both your friend and his dad, and that was gonna be
I,
just
I,
perfect.
I did think about that.
I know.
That was a thought.
I'm aware, and I was like really rooting for that one. Kind of disappointed you didn't do it.
I mean, there's still time to stab his dad.
You should.
But just one last question.
Whatever.
Whatever my mom does or doesn't have,
Mhm.
do I also have that?
I mean, have you ever turned into a wolf on the full moon?
No, but I don't know
Well,
how
there
it
you go.
works.
That's how lycanthropy works. Like, you ever get like a really weird scratch behind your ear, and you find yourself scratching it with your back leg? You ever want to just go out and howl at the moon?
I mean, I only have 2 legs, so
Yeah,
I don't know how
right.
to
You ever
scratch it
just
with
want to eat somebody for no reason, like another human being? Like, if the answer to all of these is no, then probably not.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, like he said, it was lycanthropy, so I'm guessing it's lycanthropy, and it doesn't. I don't think you have it. I don't know, man. I haven't been with you your whole life.
Well, you're not being very helpful here. I know that's not your job, but
Yeah, it's very much not my job. My job is to have fun, and I just want to say you have been super entertaining. Like stabbing would have been better. Honestly,
well, you
I
didn't
should
say
have written
stab
that in
him.
there.
Yeah,
But
you should have written that in there.
yeah, that's my fault. That's on me. I'll take that. But it was super entertaining anyways. Like I could not have like predicted that Kendron would be there too, like when you found this out, and I was so excited. And it kind of fizzled. I was really hoping for violence, because that's really funny to me when like mortals hurt each other for no reason. But y'all worked it out, and like it was great, like bonding stuff. So whatever. It's like a really good soap opera. You don't know what those are. Anyways,
No, I don't.
Golden Age stuff. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything else for you right now, and
Do-
like I have this other thing going on. I got like 3 fawns waiting on me. It's a load of fun. So I'm just
Ooh,
gonna go.
that sounds super fun. Well, you have fun with that.
Yeah, for me, not for them. Bye.
Bye.
You wake up the next morning. Cool. Everyone wakes up the next morning. McGear, big headache.
I mean, that's physical damage, half my health. Like that's
No,
not-
that is psychic damage, half your health.
So you just look like you have the world's worst hangover when you walk out.
Big time.
Except to be fair, nobody in Vatica should know what a hangover looks like since it's only 2 drinks.
That's right. Like just really bad, like migraine level. Everything hurts. Breakfast
Cool.
is served. However, breakfast is served in a private dining room, not the main dining room where you guys have eaten before. The only people in there is your party and Kedron's dad.
Uh,
Got to love morning briefings. As I plop a bit of bacon in my mouth.
briefing.
Yes.
Uh, morning, Mr. D'Artagnan. Sir.
Grand Inquisitor, thank you. Like he was stating his title. He's like, no, I'm the Grand Inquisitor. You will refer to me as such.
Kind of
Yes.
like not Mr. It's Doctor.
Yeah, right. Same vibe. Straight
Doctor
up.
Mister.
Well, last night your companions decided to have a bit of a midnight snack, and it went a bit awry.
I'm familiar with those.
Hmm.
Is
Now-
anyone mocking me?
You're there.
What?
You're there. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, you're all there. Like you guys are awake. This is breakfast,
Okay,
and this is happening over breakfast.
excellent.
I'm gonna share some information with you. But first, I need you to swear a vow of secrecy. You cannot tell anyone, or you will be tried for heresy and executed. Can't stop it. It's above me.
Absolutely. I mean, it is part of my job title.
Granted. Ilara,
Agreed.
Thule? Yeah, sure. Cool. You guys are given kind of a standard, like, medieval church NDA, right? Swear that anything said in this will be secret. If you tell anyone, you're branded heretics and killed. It's like, well, I have about 15 people locked up in my basement. In chains and cages.
Does he start with that, or does he actually?
Yes, this is the opening.
McGear kind of blinks.
Have you
And
heard of the ailment lycanthropy?
yes, actually, you have a bunch of lichens locked up.
Yes. So, about 20 years ago, there was an outbreak in Vatican. And he gives the spiel, right? 20 years ago, outbreak, they were dispatched to help contain it, whole thing. Kedron has convinced me that you would be an asset in this investigation. Considering that you are already tasked with going out into the world, you can gather information there.
We may have actually already gathered something that stems to this.
Oh,
Do you remember the book that we sent you not 2 weeks into our journey?
which one was that?
That was the
Rolf.
Book of Health.
The one found in Vatican.
Yes.
How does that relate?
It had influenced the user or users to spider lympathy. If there was something
So I do want to point out that it was not a form of lycanthropy that was used on this subject.
Arachnocanthropy would be what
Yeah,
you're...
it wasn't arachnid. They were just literally straight up transformed permanently into a giant arachnid.
I get that.
Okay.
There has been I'm trying to remember how many books we've sent them because like I ate half of them. Technically.
Like 2, I think.
Yeah. There was one other that we sent. Was it Baphomet that we sent him? The
Yes, the
second one.
Bible of Baphomet.
These have popped up more than once, and within Vatican, no less. If there was something that has before passed out something similar, just specific to lycanthropy, it may be related.
I'll have to submit a inquiry to the keepers to see if they found any such books. There was nothing reported at the time. However, it may have fallen through the cracks as insignificant. We'll look into it. Thank you for this information. Look at that, paying dividends already. Anyways, keep it in mind as you travel the world, whenever you're sent back out, to see what you can find.
I'm gonna
Again,
lean over
I'm
and
gonna
whisper to the
stress this.
group. Maybe chilling. This is to the group, not like kind of whispered. Like if he hears it, he hears it. But
Chile?
chilling.
Chilling. The city with the library.
Oh, yeah.
They do have a nice library, though. They might have something. Anyways, enjoy your breakfast. At this point, you've pretty much finished breakfast. Like, this was like a briefing over the course of breakfast. Oh, package arrived. And he sets out a small parcel on the top, addressed to Florum Die, which I guess is what you all have taken to coaling yourselves out on the road.
Bit of a promotional tool to gather those for the light of Hezekiah himself.
Anyways, enjoy. I must see to my duties. And he gets up and leaves. There's a package for you guys on the table.
I swear, if it's a horse, it's not a horse.
I'll open it.
It's like a package, not. Sure, you open it. It's a very nice cloak. And it says there is a little card attached to it, like pinned to the breast, that you read, and it says as agreed upon. O. Like signed just O.
As soon as I see that, I'm tossing that in the fireplace.
The cape?
No, the note.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kedron goes to grab it and throw it in the fireplace.
Sure.
What does this cloak do again? Is it flying?
It's
It is
flying
a-
in darkness, right?
The no, you took the cape of Mount Blank, not the bat cape.
Okay. What was that one again then?
Mount Bank. Let me double check to get you exactly what it is. Emits cape smells faintly of brimstone, which is sulfur. While wearing it, you can use it to cast the Dimension Door spell as an action. The property of the cape can't be used again until the next dawn. When you disappear, you leave behind a cloud of smoke, and you appear in a similar cloud of smoke at your destination. The smoke lightly obscures the space you left and the space you appear in, and dissipates at the end of your next turn. A light or stronger wind disperses the smoke. You Nightcrawler.
For the moment, I say we leave this in our
What's
bag.
the distance on that traveling?
It is the Dimension Door spell.
Like I said, for the moment, I suggest we
think
leave this
500
in our bag. So
You teleport yourself from a current location to any other spot within range, the range being 500 feet. You arrive exactly at the spot desired. It can be a place you can see, one you can visualize, or one you can describe by stating distance and direction, such as 200 feet straight downward, upward to the northwest, 45-degree angle, 300 feet, blah, blah, blah.
you can take one other creature of your choice of your
Yes.
size or smaller.
You bring along objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed your carry. You can also bring one willing creature of your size or smaller who is willing. One side or smaller who is carrying gear up to its carrying capacity. The creature must be within 5 feet of you when you cast a spell. So basically, you can teleport yourself and one other person, including all of your gear, as long as you can physically carry it up to 500 feet away.
Like I said, I suggest we leave this in our bag for the moment and deal with it later.
However, I will point out, if you arrive in a place already occupied by an object or creature, you and any creature traveling with you take 4d6 force damage and the spell fails. So if you miscalculate your jump distance to a space you can't see, and then you don't teleport.
So it faintly smells of sulfur.
Yep, a little bit.
Anybody-
Dynamically, is that like someone right next to you within hugging distance goes, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Like, you're not stinking up the room, but if someone's sitting next to you, they're going to get whiffs of it and be like, rotten eggs? Why do you smell of brimstone? What the heck is that? That's nasty. But not like,
Digestion.
yeah, right? So,
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
medieval times. Everybody smelled a little bit like rotten eggs.
to be fair. The day is yours. You have a full day, McGear. You have exactly one day.
I have
When's
a
my
meeting this
meeting?
evening.
You haven't received word yet. You just know it will be set.
That's super unfortunate.
I already have a
right?
meeting set this evening, if you remember.
Yes, you do. Ilara, what are you doing today?
Just chilling, I guess. Running
Okay.
some exercises and drills and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a day of downtime basically, so it's
I'm
whatever.
gonna go get my briefing of like the benefits of my new position, promotion, etc., and use that also to figure out where I'm at on that meeting schedule and not just being blown off.
Cool. We'll get there. Ironcloak.
I'm gonna go find Kedron's dad.
Sure, he's probably down at the Inquisitor headquarters at the moment. So you can head that way. Cool. Kedron, you have nothing till that evening. Laura, you're hanging out. McGear, you go to leave, and as you're leaving the main gate, a young boy comes running up and goes, "I'm looking for McGear Payne."
Ah, that'd be me.
Oh, here you are. Hands you a note and then takes back off. Do you open it?
Yeah.
It is from the office of the head bookkeeper. Your meeting has been set for 1 week's time, and you will be given your intro brief at this time. Please take this week as a vacation for your efforts spent in this endeavor. Basically, hey, have a free week off, and we'll give you your meeting and your brief at the same time.
Gosh
week.
dang it.
You know your uncle's in town.
How far up the food chain was my uncle?
Fairly. I mean, he's not like, so he doesn't work in the main Vatican branch. He works in a different city whose name I don't remember off the top of my head. Your home city. He's not head honcho. He's a step or two down the ladder from that. He's pretty high up the chain, but not like super high up.
Yeah, let's go talk to him.
Yeah, absolutely. You head that way.
My uncle's a
Iron.
understanding
What?
guy, and he's able to keep secrets, but also is able to listen understandingly.
He has been
I
known to
know my uncle.
question more than other keepers, which is probably why he's not super high up yet.
But I also know him, and I can tell him anything without being thrown to heresy, as long as I'm not actually directly being heretical of just like down with the All Father.
That's convenient.
It is convenient.
See, you tell me your own stuff about your uncle, but I mean, honestly, other people is up to the DM. Your character is up to you. I will say, and has been from the beginning, you have known him to kind of very much be right on the line with some things and rule bend a little bit, and that's probably why he's not super high right now in the ranks. Anyone you talk to is probably a good idea to be careful, though. Ironcloak, your destination's closer. Not too far from the headquarters. You go walking in. There is a receptionist sitting at the desk in the front. Hello, can I help you?
Yeah, I was wanting to see if I could get like, I don't know if this is possible, but like a meeting with the Grand Inquisitor.
A name?
Archpriest Umrum Ironcloak.
Ironcloak. Well, most of his meetings are booked up for several weeks at Ironcloak. Are you one of those ones that brought back the sword? You know what? Let me go ask. I'll be right back. Hey man, being famous has its benefits. And she
Famous. You don't even know.
Yeah, right. Scurries off. You hang out for a few minutes. There's some free coffee there in the lobby. It's pretty good coffee. A few minutes later, she comes back and goes, he said to ask if this is about your previous discussion.
Yes.
Very well. In which case, he can meet you this afternoon. He is terribly busy at the moment and does have some things he needs to close up. Come back in about 2 hours.
Okay.
And he should have time for you. He's pushing meetings out of the way for this, so that's interesting. I won't ask any questions. Oh, not my job. Have a good day.
Cool.
I'll see you in a few hours. McGear, you come rocking up to where, so there is like transient housing, I guess, almost barracks, for when people of your order are traveling and in town and business and stuff. He has a nice set of rooms. Like he has like a little living space and a little like bedroom. Like he's high enough up, like he doesn't just get a bunk bed over there, right? Like you would get.
Yep.
He has a nice little living space in there, and you ask where it's at. They direct you straight to it. Super easy. You are at the door. Just a moment. Just a moment. Yes, McGee.
Uncle
Welcome
Bob.
back. Come in. Come in. He kind of like ushers you in and closes the door and like moves some books and papers off of like a little couch. He's like, please have a seat. Have a seat. I have some tea going. This one's cold. I'll get some more. I'll be right back. Put some tea on, like move some stuff around to be able to get to where he needs to go to put it on. So what's up? How's it been? Bit of you okay? That looks rough.
I have had some of the most surreal experiences within
Kind of
and
like,
outside of Vatica.
is your eye okay?
I kind of let it kind of like do its little. Woo. I lost it. And
get
replaced it.
Uh-huh. Probably don't go around telling people that. Okay. Yeah. Definitely don't go around telling people that. That's, I'm gonna assume it's science. And I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
ask questions on that one. Yeah, don't tell people about that. Just hide it. Wear an eye patch if you have to. Anyways, besides that,
I just kind of take the one that I already have up there, just kind of flip it down.
that's better. Like I don't mind, but okay, probably don't tell people about that.
Or the
Anyways,
fact that and you know, I point at the scar you mentioned earlier, or the fact that a literal demon took this out. I helped kill it.
no, tell people about that one. That will score you lots of points killing demons. If people believe you, if you can prove it. But no, if it's made canon and like people back you up and like they're like, yeah, that's totally what happened. We're accepting it, not just calling you crazy.
Sure. You
That'll
want to see
score
the
you lots
notes?
of points. Probably do that. Make
Sure.
that
You
note.
want to see sure. You want to see the notes of it?
Yes.
Flips open notes. Like look, this is like the tail and like the.
Also, the
And so,
demon was. Did you tell him the demon was possessing a priest of Vatica outside of Vatican City? Like outside
No.
of the country of Vatica? Keep that to
I mean,
yourself.
basically, I just regaled through like a quick overview of our adventures, not the nitty gritty details of like we went here.
Did you mention the time travel?
No.
Did you mention the contracts?
No.
Okay, cool. This is a
Like,
sanitized version.
this is the whole like if a 5-year-old was just like, oh, we went to ancient ruins and we found things, and then we went to a pirate ship and pirates, and then we were like on a pirate island for a while, and it kind of sucked, but then we were able to like find pirate treasure and like buy our way off the island.
This is quite fantastical. However, I must ask, maybe you came here just for this story, but I feel like you didn't.
No.
Okay, let's get to that. This is amazing, and I will be reading all of your notes later, but business first. Why are you here?
In the course of our journeys, we have come across a lot of things that have fallen within the guidelines of our jobs as keepers.
Oh yes, I saw the books you sent back. Wonderful, wonderful job. Definitely locked up, not good. Especially the one with like the mind magic on it. Terrible. Actually, both of them did. Yeah, if that ever recharges.
That scratches the surface. It's a lot worse than that. as the outside world would be assumed.
Fair
Um,
enough.
the issue that I'm concerned with is some of this I can't even relate to you, as per the teachings, it has to go all the way to the top. But I also do not want to be tried for heresy for simply possessing the information. And I'm curious of how the temperament of the head of our order is, as you would have dealt with him more than me.
Give me a moment. Cast a spell, and a bubble appears around you. There, no one can hear now. Man's zealot. Now, you're a keeper. You're a ground level keeper. You're responsible for gathering information and handing it off. So if you're telling me that this information would get you tried for heresy, I can only assume it's really bad and probably directly involving you.
And others.
Mm.
I will preface this with that these have resulted us in bringing the pieces of the sword home. So if
Here's a question: could you have done it without obtaining this information?
so, given the fact that this is literally like 2 years after, and as of
Yeah, in real life,
so some of this I can say yes confidently, and some of this I can say no confidently.
So I'm going to
But
harken back to and just give you a quick rebrief of kind of what led to this. So initially, Ilara ended up with a contract with Orthax because he offered to give you the name of the serial killer in exchange for that contract. You guys had a few leads, not many, some, and it was still like only the second day of investigation. This was a shortcut that Ilara took.
and then I took this in an attempt to fix her problem.
Correct. Neither of which would be deemed truly necessary to your mission.
The intention, does that matter?
Eh. You've heard the saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yes, but does helping a Samaritan and that Samaritan end up being, or the person you help end up being Hitler, make you a bad person?
Um, Let me put it this way. It doesn't really matter what the means are. As soon as the words made a deal with insert entity, it doesn't matter what you got out of it. It's probably going to get you burned for heresy.
Hmm.
Dig through the ditches.
Yeah, definitely that. There have been inquisitions over less. There have been inquisitions over rumors of people making deals so that their children don't starve to death for much less than their souls.
Hmm.
He is very much not asking questions right now, holding his head in his hands. Nephew, if you've gotten yourself into something you can't get out of, if you have stepped into heresy, I can't help you. I test elements. I question things. I am a scholar through and through, but there are lines I can't cross. There are lines no one in Batica can cross. Do not tell me what this is. Because if I know, I will have to do my duty. At this point, it's simply information. I don't know the specifics, and I can deny having this conversation. But if I know, I will have to report it. Do not tell me.
Which is why, knowing what you know, is there a way to fix said things without immediate permanent solutions that are unpleasant.
I don't
Our
have any
current situation as
specifics.
of being successful with the sort of Joshua lending credence to that.
If you can show it as entirely unavoidable, and the only way to achieve your goal, there may be latitude. However, and I don't know the specifics of what you're talking about, but if any deals were struck, if any information that the church would not want given out were given out, you will be deemed incompetent, as there is always another way. Hezekiah always shows through without heresy, and all you had to do was pray harder and have more faith. It does not matter your results.
Mm,
Hmm.
Especially given who the head keeper is and who the Grand Inquisitor are. The head keeper was not necessarily. He is a very brilliant man, very well read, very well learned, and extremely zealous.
Are there ways of getting on the keeper's good side that do not pertain to bribing him?
Bribery would probably be the fastest way to get on his bad side. Like I said, the man is a zealot through and through. Having equal zealotry is about it. Why do you think I'm still here? Why do you think I'm not the head of my own division at this point? Because I refuse to be what he needs me to be.
And what if said situations that we may have experienced were not properly understood? Would the incompetence override the results and or attempting fixing of said results seeking help and Hezekiah's guidance?
Ignorance is no excuse for heresy, is the official policy of the church.
Hezekiah also
Seeking help?
forgives. He
Oh, sure.
guides, he redeems. And Inquisitors aside, there is a path to redemption without fire. It's
I'm going to
well
be perfectly
documented.
honest with you, nephew. I agree with what you say. There is a path to redemption for all. According to the church, that path is fire. For most people, small things, absolutely. Theft, physical punishment, you get your hand cut off, it's not fire immediately. Heretics must repent and then burn. Or repent while they burn. Or burn for eternity.
If one of the people outside of Vatican, outside the knowledge of Hezekiah, is a heretic and comes to know the truth of Hezekiah, can they be redeemed without fire?
I'm sure if they've cast away their element depends. According to me, sure. According to the church, if you've been practicing witchcraft your whole life and then you decide to turn it around, the best that you can hope for is a quick death, and that Hezekiah will redeem you in the afterlife because your crimes have already sentenced you to death in this life. May Hezekiah forgive you because we cannot.
Hmm. At least very little for redemption or
Yeah.
repentance through sentence.
Now, there are lesser charges that certainly can. If you're not practicing witchcraft all the time and you come to know Hezekiah and you turn away, There can be repentance, usually with lashings or servitude or other things, and your children will be spared. But things like consorting with devils and witchcraft and things of that nature, working directly against the church, there's not a lot of latitude. And again, only because we're inside this bubble, because I would probably be put down as a heretic for saying this. It's about control.
What if the knowledge I possess had the ability to threaten the world as we know it? And that my
Oh, they'd very much want to know. Depending on what you did with it before that, you may still be put to death.
and what if killing me helped unleash it?
Wouldn't really get better for you. You'd just be locked away somewhere where you'd never get out. But they can keep an eye on you to make sure that doesn't happen.
Hey, Bryant.
Mhm.
Can I change my backup character to be a guy named Martanus Lutheris?
I don't get the reference.
Martin Luther.
Oh, got it. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Go for it. Um, Now you're very much getting an idea of why your uncle has not progressed past the point that he has in this organization at this point. Um, Maybe even why you got held up going to school.
Hmm.
I see you have much to think about, and this spell's about to end, so we should wrap this conversation up quickly. Don't.
Sure. I have a time limit on trying to make decisions based on the information that I possess, and the meeting with the head keeper, is a week's time from now,
Do you
and
have a way to keep it secret?
um, my understanding of my situation is that means outside of my control are going to ignore my control of the situation, and the secrets I possess will be about abounding regardless of my influence, and there will be much trouble. I'm trying to avoid such trouble.
Is this a immediate threat versus a longer term threat sort of thing where you can solve the immediate problem in a certain way that's not great, but then have to deal with a maybe slightly larger problem in the future?
The solution can either end the world, or I can end my excursion and my friend's excursions, as will just no longer be viable per your wise counsel.
Hmm. End of the world, you say? That is quite intense. Could this end of the world scenario be linked back to you? Like directly, easily? Or could you deny any sort of involvement?
I mean, no one's going to really care when the world's ending, so yeah, no one would have probably know it all.
Perfect. Because the world starts to end, the whole world will come together to stop the ending of the world. And as long as you don't go saying, hey, I did it. Look, all I'm saying is we have some very powerful mages and fighters, and we have a lot of influence around a lot of places. We can pull armies together very quickly. Plus, Hezekiah is on our side. If this is really an evil entity, Hezekiah will help us prevail. He's not going to stop the world end. Maybe you save yourself now and deal with that problem when it arises, and you're not linked to it. Like that, it's that, or you get executed. That's really all I have right now. I don't want you to die. I love you. I raised you. What was that?
Important dice.
Oh, right. Important things, yes. I'd rather you didn't. So if you can detach yourself from this and then deal with it as a detached issue that, oh no, this is happening. And if you can give me some hints, maybe just like pointers, we can head it off a little bit and I can get some investigations going that direction. I don't know, but don't tell me everything.
Sure.
Spell
Aside
still
from that,
going
I
at
have a
this
spell to
point?
look that I would love to study with you before turning over the information.
Sure, what spell?
I start
Miracle,
showing
you
him.
mean?
I start going through the notes with him of the super magic. I found a position outside of Attica um, that had. I've never seen magic like this. It's like the weave itself, or Hezekiah himself, did something. It's the most beautiful magic I've ever seen.
And you guys start diving into that. Ironcloak, your meeting comes up. You are escorted into this man's office. Also, the bubble spell that does disintegrate after like a few more
Let's say
minutes.
we have gone beyond 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, the bubble spell goes away. I didn't say 10 minutes. I said a few minutes.
Well, it's cone of silence. It's 10 minutes.
It's not a cone of silence.
It's not.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Homebrew stuff is cool. Anyways, Ironcloak, you are escorted into this man's office. Close the door behind you.
To me, or
Iron- the assistant. Ironcloak, I move several important meetings around for this. It better be good.
yeah. So
Does this need to be a private chat?
I don't know.
no, I don't think so yet.
Okay, cool. Just let me know if you need one.
I'm trying to figure out how to word this. So what are the chances I could get back down into that basement?
Well, I would need a good reason why, and you would be supervised. Their
That's-
well-being is my responsibility.
That supervision's fine with me. There's
Also a good reason.
a theory I have.
I like theories, especially when they turn out to be real.
But I'd need a good look at one of the subjects before I can confirm anything.
Sure. I mean,
Or even just, I mean, if you have a list of names.
not here. But I do. I can get that to you. Do you need a list of names, or do you need to inspect them?
I mean, both would be great, but
Sure.
I mean, if I can't inspect them, then a list of names would be.
I can arrange for both. This evening when I come home after dinner, we will proceed down to the basement.
Cool.
Anything else?
Nope, that was it.
Awesome. In the future, rather than having me rearrange my entire schedule for something like this, write a request.
Well,
Have a runner bring it to me.
I didn't know you were going to rearrange your schedule. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a bother.
You are staying at his house.
In the future, just either wait for me to come home, where you're currently staying, or write a request. Mark it as my eyes only. Send it in. I have runners specifically for this that are at my house.
Okay, cool. Will do.
Thank you. Anything else, Father Ironcloak?
Nope, that's it.
Have a good day. Cool. We will handle that next week because we only have like 3 minutes left.
My meeting.
Yes, your meeting will also be handled next week that evening. McGear, going over that magic. He's blown away. Do you tell him what it's on?
Does it come up?
I mean, he does ask. He's asked like specifics about it. Where did you find it? What was it affecting?
We found it in the Underdark, affecting a large chunk of a mountain.
Interesting. This is a binding spell, which something should be bound to it. Is anything bound to it?
That pertains back to that information I talked about earlier. This I can share though.
Interesting. Interesting. Something bound. Probably don't want to deduce. Anyways, and yeah, that's where we'll end. I just wanted to know if you told him there's a literal dragon there. So
Am I wrong with saying that it falls into that kind of category of information?
I mean, you didn't make a deal with the dragon, so the fact that it exists, I mean, that's exactly the kind of information that you would be expected to hand up.
Technically, I am handing it up because it's him.
Yeah, but you didn't tell him about the dragon.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because
Oh,
I didn't know my own.
yeah, no,
sex.
he would definitely be like he's not directly your supervisor, and usually you hand it to your supervisor, but like you also don't know who your supervisor is yet.
So I can loophole my way around of like I'm handing it to a superior.
Yeah, absolutely, you could.
Oh yeah. I tell him about the dragon and showed notes and stuff.
He has a heart attack and falls over, and we'll start there next week.
For real?
Natural one on that con save.
What?
Like it was just gonna be like he freaks out and like chokes on his tea or something. No, natural one. Straight up has a heart attack. Like at first he thinks you're joking, and then when you convince him that you're telling the truth,
I literally show pictures. I drew it.
thump.
So, Alara, did you enjoy today's session?
She's not in the room.
Yeah, we're getting to other things. I promise. It was just a lot of things coming up all at once.
I killed my uncle.
I mean, healers are a thing. He's not dead. He's just having a heart attack right now. CPR exists. Dude, you literally have shocking grasp as a cantrip.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
So anyways, see you all next week. Thank you for joining in. And until then, Deus Vult.